Hi everyone! Thank you for joining me today. As always, can you hear me okay? I'm always nervous about this microphone. Hi guys! I know today is something going on. People say it's very quiet. I have been traveling for the last 10 days to Europe and I just got back to the States. So I'm still a bit jet-lagged, but I really miss you guys. So first thing I did was turning on this camera so to say hello. Today we have something to be exciting to celebrate. Can you believe today we reached 600,000 subscribers to this channel? It's all because of you guys. Thank you for helping me to get here and also continuously supporting me and helping me to highlight the human rights issues in North Korea. So, oh my guys, this congratulations, you guys deserve it. Anyway, so that was why, I couldn't wait to join you today and say thank you in person. In a way, in a perfect world, maybe we can all meet together and have parties together. That'd be awesome. But hopefully this will do. A lot has happened since I was gone for last 10 days. Lots of things happened with North Korea, the USA and China, the relations. So I will update you with that. But first of all, let's see who joined today. Ashley, love you too. Jong-Un, thank you guys for joining. I know, is this something going on today with soccer or something? When I was in Italy, I saw the between Belgium and Italy game right there, and I couldn't believe how passionate Italians were when it comes to football. I loved it. I loved watching the game. So if you guys have to watch it, I don't mind it. Hi from Canada. Oh, today we have a lot of people joining from Canada, I guess. Thank you for joining me. Anyway, so you guys can feel free to ask any questions. Thankfully, we don't have as many people like in the past. So that will give me more time to answer your questions. I know every time after live, people keep telling me, you didn't answer my question. And I'm like, I know. But most of the time, I don't even see all your questions, and that is why. It's nothing's wrong with your question. It's just I didn't get to see them. So today, use this opportunity, ask him anything, and I wanted to just update you what has been happening. As always, recently, Biden administration reached out to China and asked them, can you help with us denuclearizing North Korea? And China obviously told Biden that no, we are going to continuously helping Kim JongUn, and most of all USA now you have to listen to North Korea. And after that, there's really no pushing back from the Biden side. So it seems like for the next four years, nothing is gonna be done when it comes to North Korean human rights issue. And because, basically, in order to solve North Korea, you gotta get it through China. And China obviously not gonna do that unless you push them really, really hard. What I really wanna see though, currently, there's a huge movement in Australia standing up against China. It's so admirable. The country like Australia is so much smaller than America, still have the, that courage to stand up against injustice when they see it. And it is so saddening to see America with this corporation, media, and Hollywood. All they care is profit, right? They want the profit. They don't want to lose China market. And yeah, I think I hope really America joins that coalition that Australia is creating and really standing up and stopping Chinese aggression and colonialism under Chinese Communist Party right now. So anyway, I think more questions are coming in. So Alex, good to see you. Did you visit Pompeii? I love Italy, love from, is that UK flag? I'm very ignorant when it comes to flag and geography, because I mean, I didn't really learn about, I never seen the map until when I was almost adult, like teenager. So I went to Florence, I went to Milan, and I went to Venice. So it was a dream travel. I was very grateful that the world was coming back to normal, but still all these places were very quiet. And yeah, I hope all the small businesses are okay. I know YouTube is censoring you. I know, guys. I am definitely censored right now on Twitter. I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitter. If you don't, please follow me. My handle is Yeonmi Park NK. So NK stands for North Korea. Very obvious. So yeah, on Twitter, everything that I say, even just like a random silly photo of me like in Italy, has no political message, says this is sensitive content. And everything that I post now became sensitive. Recently, I was hearing Joe Rogan, his conversation with Eric Weinstein, the evolutionary biologist. I don't know how many of you guys follow him. He's definitely getting censored on YouTube. And I think this is why, even though I reached like 600,000 subscribers today, I don't feel, completely safe. Honestly, I do. I think whoever right now championing for freedom of speech and diversity of thoughts and, equality, true equality, not equality of outcomes, we all get now targeted, and it's always a constant threat of being canceled, losing our livelihood. However, we are still in a better state than being in North Korea or China, so we still need to push back. I don't know how many guys know about the locals. I only heard about them recently. This is a social media platform that is trying to push back the mainstream, where you get canceled and censored, and the locals, there's no censorship, and you can join me on locals. If I ever get banned on YouTube, you can find me on locals, and thank God, at least there's some alternative platform where we can go for. And it is ridiculous that we have to do this game in America, but what can we do? That's the current norm that we are in. So Tyrion, is that how I say? I'm still single. When are we going to go out? Well, you gotta. That's funny. Love you. Thank you for making me laugh. I miss you guys so much. I really missed you all. And so I get to see you, Saptarshi. Does Kim JongUn plan on vaccinating North Korean people? If so, how? So China offered to give them a vaccine, and North Korea hasn't been vaccinating as much. The elite has been vaccinated more. I think Kim JongUn, for him, this is a perfect time, right, to control people even more in the name of pandemic and quarantine. So the sad thing about this tragedy, this disease, became a tool for these dictators, for governments to expand their power. And even American governments expanded it so much during the pandemic. All governments have expanded their power, and especially North Korea. And it is really sad that when the tragedy happens like this, it is such an opportunity for the authoritarians to take advantage of. So I don't know Kim JongUn has any intention to end this pandemic at all. He doesn't want to end it at this point. He still want to maintain this complete control over a country and every people's livelihood. So Fernando, thank you. Please continue posting your amazing photos. Those negative bloggers support the Kims. Thank you so much. You are so sweet. So Sarma Kazumi, do you have any plans to join JRE? That would be so awesome. Is it Joe Rogan you're talking about? Love from Canada. Guys, I cannot say what it is, but something awesome happening. So please stay tuned. I am truly grateful. And so many of you have actually reached out to these podcasters like Tim Pool, Joe Rogan, Lex Friedman, so many like names that now currently became the champion from the freedom of thoughts. So thank you for your support, and I will let you know soon what's going on. It's very exciting. So slippery. No, I think Joe Rogan said that. I heard he said on his podcast that I'm coming on to his podcast. So actually, I can say that, right? I am going on to his podcast in a few weeks. So, yeah, guys, I might get a heart attack. Please send me all your love and best. Pray for me, really. I need a lot of prayers. I think I'm the first North Korean made this far with so at this point, even if I get killed, I feel like at least I started that kind of a seed of fire of entire movement. So you guys know me, you guys know what I stood for. So even if I die, I know that this movement to free North Koreans is not gonna die. So I'm very grateful. So, slippery gecko, do you get more nervous about retaliation from North Korea while you are traveling? Well, definitely I do. In the US, I feel a lot safer, but the thing is, I have multiple threats. One is obviously from North Korea, Kim JongUn, right? But if Kim JongUn wants to kill me, right, there's really nothing for me to do. This is a nation. Kim JongUn is running a country that has a nuclear weapons that can attack America. So if Kim Jong-un wants to kill me, no matter what, he's gonna kill me. Like he killed his brother in Malaysia, like international soil, he killed his brother, right? So almost like with the threat from Kim Jong-un, it's almost like I like surrendered it to the thing, you know? It's not almost like up to me if he wants to kill me, it's not up for me to if I wanna survive or not. However, the actual threats, more like stupid threats, is the people, the empathizers of communism, empathizers of North Korean regime, and Marxists, those people. Because North Korea is the only country that still officially holds this ideology, socialism, right? It's a communist party. And this is the only country that stands up against the US and still able to bully the US administration. Like Kim Jong-un bullies Biden every single day, and there's nothing for America to do about it. So many people who hate capitalism, free market, and the USA, especially in the Western civilization, really support North Korean regime. Therefore, I became not only the target from the North Korean regime, but the people who stand up for Marxism, Maoism, Leninism, communism, socialism, right? Anti-capitalism, or like social justice warriors. I became a target from all those groups. So I have a lot of enemies. And yeah, that is scary sometimes, but life is risk. And anybody in the world that tried to do something, they all got criticized, all got attacked brutally, right? It is almost seems like a natural course of humanity. Whenever you do something, you're gonna get attacked. Let's say even like you are Trump support or not, you know how demonized Trump was. And if you are supporting Biden or Hillary, you know how they're demonized too. So I think it's just the nature of our world that if you try to do something, they're gonna certainly good amount of people gonna disagree with you and hate you and bring you down, trying to bring you down no matter what. So that's where I am in. So John Forrest, Yeonmi, do you see the North Korea political apparatus surviving our dear leader, potentially dying prematurely from health complications? Love your work. Thank you. It's very possible. And today's title is Why Did Kim Jong-un Lose Weight, right? I did want to definitely touch on that issue because Kim Jong-un's health is a very important one. We do have to know what's going on with Kim Jong-un's health. I don't think it's anything positive that Kim Jong-un lost weight in such a short amount of time. And his complexion looks he aged a lot. He looks really like old man. Believe it or not, guys, Kim Jong-un is still in his 30s. He's a young man, and he looks like almost 50 years old, a mature person. So for Asian, that's really also rare too. There is definitely, I think Kim Jong-un is losing weight, in my opinion, is due to his health complications. He might had a surgery. Last year, he might had one. This year, when he was disappeared for a month, he also might had another surgery. So the another thing was interesting though, his mistress, Hyun Sung-woo, she also lost a lot of weight. So either there is some kind of joint diet happening inside that group, or just the internally things are so unstable that she cannot sleep at night, and Kim Jong-un has a health complication, and that makes her very nervous, because if Kim Jong-un dies, she dies too, right? None of that people who support Kim Jong-un gonna be alive. His mistress Hyun Sung-woo and wife Kim Yo-jong's sister, all of them have such a interest to maintain Kim Jong-un and keeping him alive. So I think it is good for us to pay attention to it, but I think the fact that he's losing weight is definitely the sign of his bad health. It's not a positive thing. Yeah. So get on DWN. It's we who should we thank you. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. Oh my God, I'm so grateful. No matter what I say, as long as YouTube allow me to be on here, I want to be here because of you guys. I think, it's so sad. Do you guys know Eric Weinstein? I feel so horrible for him. He got kicked out of his university like that from his own students, and to having not popular ideas, and him challenging the theory of coronavirus. I'm sure saying those things are gonna get me censored obviously at the end of this video, but it's really scary that people just, if the president get canceled, right? If Trump gets banned on Twitter and Facebook, all of these platforms, nobody's safe right now. So yeah, we all need to fight this together, guys. So Saptarshi, Yeonmi, do you think North Korea is more of a monarchy than a communist oligarchy? The leader seems like a hereditary title only available to Kim family. Yeah, I think North Korea is beyond communist oligarchy. It's definitely beyond Russia, right? The modern day Russia. It is definitely a kingdom. Kim is a kingdom, right? He's a god. He's beyond king even. He's beyond even emperor. The resemblance that we can find maybe in the China, many centuries ago, when there was an emperor who anointed by heaven, who had a legitimate power from this heaven, the universe, that kind of figure. So, but the thing is, what Kim Jong-un used to get there was the tool that he used was a communism and socialism. Initially, they used a communism, right? And then took the entire land from the people and took entire property from individuals, getting rid of private property, getting rid of private ownership of any single thing, and nationalizing publicly owns the entire country. And that communism enabled him that first. We cannot deny that. So even though back the people say, oh, North Korea is not a socialist at this point, so that's why it doesn't explain why socialism doesn't work. That's completely nonsense. Socialism and communism is gonna give a rise to Kim Jong-un. It gives rise to a dictator. This is a medium the dictators use to get there. And this is really angers me, and it's so delusional. These people saying, oh, North Korea is not a socialist, therefore we still keep trying socialism. And you know that they use, it was like a stepping stone for them. Like when Kim Il-sung came, he was the first Kim I'm talking about, huge admirer of Stalin and Lenin. And then Marxism, obviously, he made a Communist Party in North Korea. It's still Communist Party in North Korea, right? And then with this ideology of getting rid of individual liberty, and state gets decide how much do we produce, what do we produce, who gets what, who eats how much amount of food, what, right? They decide every single thing for you. Then they change it to socialism, and now they call them socialist paradise. But of course, the one guy in charge became a god, and everybody else became slaves. And I just did this video. It's gonna come out in a few days, where during this pandemic, North Korea, the regime, gained more power, and they literally executed around 5,000 people since last year for breaking quarantine rules. And this does not include the people who were sent to detention camps and political prison camps. Kim Jong-un ordered a state of emergency, a war emergency. So told the guards that anybody breaks a quarantine rule, shoot them, kill them on the spot, shoot them right there. They don't need to be tried, they don't need to be processed, they don't even need to be investigated. These people who break the quarantine rule deserve to die on the spot by guards shooting them. And yeah, this is where you go if you allow this ideology like communism and socialism. The regime's they are gonna get the power. Is it really sad? Like whenever I talk to people who believe in socialism and communism, right? I think more likely right now they're more like into socialism and they're obsessed with democratic socialism too, right? The people have good intentions usually bring the most disastrous result. That it is really not all socialists evil, obviously not. Most of them were innocent believers that they don't want others to suffer. But one thing that I see in America right now is so shocking to me and so dangerous to me is that inequality is not the same with poverty. And in America right now, because people cannot stand inequality, they want to go into collectively all dirty poor together. That's what they would rather choose. Of course, Jeff Bezos trillionaire, right? How many $6 trillion he's worth? How many people are worth of my money? But why does it matter? Of course, I'm so much poorer than him. Does that mean that I am poor because the inequality exists? That doesn't mean there is a poverty. The free market does make people rich. Some people way more richer than others. But it lifts all of us together from the poverty. That is very clear. Without free market, guys, how have we ended up with the internet and computer of all these innovations? It's not just possible. And it's a side effect, if you want to call that side effect, is an inequality. And that is not a bad thing at all. I think if we need some kind of understanding here why people so much get upset about inequality. And yeah, if you don't like inequality, you can end up like North Korea where everybody's starving and dying from starvation. That is the alternative, but why would we do that, right? We know this country is way better than being in a country where everybody is equal but so dirty poor. So to me, I appreciate inequality. And this is why I think I am shocked by people who live in this country are so brainwashed to believe that any kind of inequality is bad. And so, let me know what you think about that. It's everybody said oh, this inequality is killing us all. No, not at all. Inequality doesn't mean poverty. So this kind of emotional wailing, right? They say, look at your neighbors, how rich they are. Look at Jeff Bezos, look at Bill Gates, how rich they are. But you, at the same time, you are very poor. But no, I am still, when I went to this homeless, when I was doing this outreach work, in the South, the homeless, the center, they had a refrigerator with the electricity. They had the Coca-Cola. They had the food. And I was making like 3 a.m. getting up, making this like breakfast, right? And then in the evening also make their dinners, go out, try to hand out them food. And these homeless people say no to. Like, what is it? Like, it's a hot dog. It's like, no, thank you. Never seen a homeless, never seen a beggar in a country never says no to food. I think this is the only country I met actually people on the street asking for money more than food. There are, of course, some people ask for food, that for sure that exists, but a lot of them I met actually asking for money than actually food. So yeah, I think it's yeah. Anyway, so here. Ready? As I say, Yeonmi, you're beautiful. So I finished reading your book a couple of days ago. I learned much from your experience and many parts made me emotional. You're so sweet. Thank you so much for reading the book. And guys, like, continuously reading my book and giving it to your friends. I'm so thankful, and hopefully if we do this together, in the world we learn about what is happening to the people in North Korea in that darkness, and we can maybe stop. We really have to use our voices and, tell our leaders in this country to do the right thing, because that power is still in us. In democracy, we have that responsibility as free people. So, Subterfuge, again, agree with Yeonmi. Uncontrolled socialism gave us the Kim family, while uncontrolled capitalism gave us the British East India Company, both responsible for millions of deaths. There needs to be a balance. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I'm a free market person. I mean, how many times I have to say that, right? I do believe in free market. I believe in freedom of speech. And I know that allowing all speeches, there are gonna be people get hurt, and there is a side effect. But the thing is, the consequence is far worse when we ban freedom of speech. And I think right now we are in this country seeing, right, Hollywood, like Nike, Adidas, all these stores do not want to lose Chinese market. So that's why even look at LeBron James and John Cena, these people in Hollywood, all busy pleasing Chinese Communist Party. Even WHO, the World Health Organization, refused to acknowledge Taiwan as a country because Chinese Communist Party wanted Taiwan to be theirs. And of course, WHO getting money from Chinese Communist Party, we all know that. And this company is Hollywood who makes money in China. I think capitalism, I don't even want to use that capitalism word. It's like, it has so many negative connotation that this free market, right? The consumers has to be responsible. But the thing is, banning free market is so detrimental that the path that we don't want to cross, right? We need a free market, we need a free trade. But the thing is, as a consumers, that it is our responsibility to use a product that is responsibly made, to watch a movie, to support the public figure, to support the actress or any movie, anything that is ethically, that stands for the right things. So we can we can change the behavior of these companies. I will never say like, because Nike sponsors this country that doesn't stand up against country that committing genocide like China right currently, we cannot ban them, right? That's not the solution. So in a free society, individuals have a lot of responsibility, and that is why harder to be free. When you are free, it comes with a responsibility, and that is, I think you guys all know that the fact that you're here educating yourself about a country so far away that it doesn't even affect your daily life. You guys are taking this freedom responsibly, and you honor the freedom that you have. And I think that's what we need to teach our children in schools. Instead, this like nonsense, like critical race theory, like teaching them what the heck is like safe space is. And we need to teach our children the consequences of when individuals lose their freedom. What happens when governments gather too much power? Like, we need to teach all these things and let them become responsible, free individuals. And instead of that, we teach them how to be victims, teach them how to be bitter and feel oppressed. And this is so shameful what we are doing with our education and with our children's minds, because I am a mother and it just is not acceptable. This is so horrifying and this is just not okay. So, Ken Murphy Sotomayor, thank you so much. You're so sweet. I know, as always, I'm losing a lot of questions again, right, guys? So, LDS, German Shepherd Boy. 안녕하세요, Yeonmi. Love your book and your work. A bit off topic, but if North Korea were to open up, what's some tourist areas that would be in Haesan? So, if you are into, I know, we always talk about dark side of North Korea, so I think it's really time for me to describe what North Korea, beside of politics, look like. North Korea has 80% of mountains. It's a very mountainous country. So if you are scared, you know what's good. It's best place to ski. It has really good snow. It has really good altitude, very elevated. And Haesan is especially known for its ski. And normal people cannot afford those equipments, but the rich people from Pyongyang, I heard, go to Haesan, some resort to do ski. Other than that, North Korea is like Japan, has a lot of natural onsens. Like this, they have really good water. So North Korea has so many random onsens here and there. So instead of you guys go to Japan for onsen, you can go to North Korea for that. Other than that, I mean, I don't know how many people of you know Korean food is, in my opinion, pretty healthy and good food. And a lot of people now try to be conscious with healthy eating, you know. So food is gonna be good, and the landscape is beautiful. But unfortunately, a lot of trees cut down. They're gonna take some time to rebuild the nature. But however, North Korea is only 97% of roads. I mean, only 3% of roads are paved, and they are in Pyongyang. So 97% of North Korea has not been developed. Can you think about any country did that? No, right? It's almost like a human experiment. North Korea lives in Middle Ages time. There is no sewage. I mean, we don't even know what shower is. We cook things without chopping wood, right? We don't have heating. The life is really living in a jungle, that kind of feeling. So you can visit your, if you want to kind of not a museum, but actual real life, how people lived in the Middle Ages, is the best time to do a time traveling. I cannot think of any place can offer that. The actual authentic place where you experience the Middle Age time, their daily life. That is gonna be North Korea. You're gonna actually see how our ancestors lived in all those days, and that's what North Korea is doing. So maybe the entire country gonna become a museum. Who knows? We are not gonna develop it. Maybe I don't know how North Korean people are gonna accept it, because they are gonna want the good standards of living too, right? Like we keep talking about the Amazon in Brazil, the people who are living there, they are suffer from poverty. They want to develop the country, and here we are here, keep telling them don't do that, it's bad for environment, but we are having a good life here. It's gonna be tricky, but still it's gonna be exciting for us to open that, the last remaining mystery for the humanity to see. Going to a country that hasn't been developed at all, because Korea was never developed even before the Korean War, right? Under Japanese colonization, it wasn't developed. Korea was a kingdom, very poor country all along, and then the communists came in and then took over, didn't develop the whole thing. So Korea kind of preserved for thousands of years of that lifestyle, as what it is. So yeah, it is a lot of, I think, anthropologists gonna go in, a lot of researchers, can go in and see the last remainings of, our older days that's preserved like that. So hopefully you guys join me. I can become your tour guide. So Fernando, your definition of poverty and inequality are so profound. In debates, I've never seen it explained more clearly. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. Yeah, let me know, you guys, because there is so much demonization of people becoming rich in this country, and like rich doesn't mean you're bad, right? And the capitalist, like demonization of capitalists is coming from Marxism, and you see that every single day in America right now. If you rich, almost you are like guilty of something, and it's not. It's just the fact. It's a neutral thing. As long as you made money, ethically, that's a good thing. You created profit, you're creating jobs. It's good for our world. It's a good thing that we have capitalists. It's a good thing that we have people who become rich and creating jobs. So it's so sad when you like demonize movers and shakers who move the civilization forward, and they become demonized. And that's when we all know we collectively become poor and destroying everything that we have built. Tower, is that what it is? Would you ever run for political office once you become citizen? They wouldn't hurt you if you're a congresswoman. I don't know at the moment, because I'm not a citizen, and if I am a citizen, I think it takes many years to get that right to do it. It is insane. Did you guys hear that? Over the 4th of July weekend, over 150 people got shot. New York alone was like 50 people got shot. And Chicago, we don't even know, like more than that. Chicago is way more dangerous than a lot of South American countries right now. So yeah, there's only a few places I see that, not quite few. If you especially go like somewhere, Florida, Texas, there are still spots you are completely free, I feel. But yeah, it's just, you know clearly this ideology is not working, right? That every state that is run by that extreme left is being destroyed by themselves. Like San Francisco, there's poops everywhere, there's needles, they're homeless, and it's not safe. Look at LA, so many tents, and look at Chicago, New York. All these cities, the greatest cities, this beautiful, amazing, innovative. I am back again. Can you believe every single time I do live this happens? So at this point, I'm gonna stop questioning. Either I need to switch my internet server, or something is going on whenever I get jammed or some attack. I get this stopping point always. So let's go for a few more questions. Thank you guys. Is it really today something is happening? So many of you stayed with me and hear me out. I'm gonna maybe cover 5 more questions and I come back to you. Let me know what should I be doing to celebrate 600,000 subscribers, guys. I wish there's something that we can all do together. So let's see. Last 5 questions. Let's go ahead. North Korean hackers, you think? It is interesting, right? Like how every single live that I do is becoming like this. And it never happens when I do Zoom calls, like Google Hangouts. I'm on Zoom call every single day, and never happens when I do them. Only when I do live, this happens. So what's the punishment for practicing religion in North Korea? Rosa asked. North Korea is the #1 Christian persecution, persecute the country. Death. You get executed. If you read the Bible, you get executed. If you pray to God, you get executed. The other day I shared this. North Korea in 2017 banned Mother's Day. Do you know why they banned Mother's Day? I'm sure you can guess. Because the regime was so worried that if the people allowed to admire and love their mother, it was going to distract their love towards the dear leader and the party. That's why they banned the Mother's Day. This is how the regime is so obsessed with the power only for themselves. So Malara, thank you so much. So capitalism itself takes on the image of people running it. That's the beauty of it. It allows the true values of and morality of the people to shine. I really agree with it. That's really beautifully put. I never claim that capitalism is perfect. It has a lot of flaws, but that doesn't mean it's bad, right? Capitalism is the most flexible. I don't know how to even describe it. A system, if you call it system or method, it adapts so well if the consumers want the morally made products, right? How many now people are saying, oh, I don't want the modern slavery, I don't want the products that animal tested. Then do you see the product when you go to Whole Foods? How many products on the shelf saying this is ethically made, this is recyclable, we respect the climate change, respect diversity. We drive what kind of profit they create. It ultimately, capitalism allows the power to the consumers, to individuals. That's why it's such a beautiful thing, and it worked. Every single time when capitalism tried, it worked. Unlike communism, unlike socialism, right? It got zero flexibility. It cannot change its form. It cannot change it. And that is why this thing is amazing thing that we ever discovered. And that we should value instead of trying to throw away something that gave us this much prosperity and this much knowledge and power to individuals. It's not time to throw away capitalism. It's like instead of us embracing it and also understand the nature of it, right? And when the people, individuals do not be responsible and just want to create whatever sources are, right? Right now, like Disney making movie with China, right? They made that movie Mulan they recorded that in the Xinjiang province where there's like Uyghurs were persecuted. But if we are here in America as a consumers saying no to those kind of movies, right? Disney is not gonna go to China and making those movies with China. So it is ultimately up to us. It's really sad to say, but it is up to us to change their behavior, even including Hollywood. Instead of us complaining about mainstream, the social media, their censorship, we can go to locals. We can go to a lot of other platforms that promotes freedom of speech, that do not cancel people for the speech they are making. So we can make that choices, but to do that in this age of where social media rules, where these mainstream platforms ruling, we gotta be a bit more diligent, because if you just read the New York Times and like CNN, you are not gonna get these alternative views. So you gotta be more diligent, and I think that's what you guys are doing, coming to my channel, coming to other podcasters and hear about what other people think. Anyway, so Rosa, thank you so much. You're so sweet. I'm still having coughs. So let me do last 2 more questions. I think I'm losing too many questions, unfortunately. So I see some good quiet of Koreans today here, thankfully. Thank you guys for... Oh, I think it's working now again. I think I really need to change my internet. Otherwise, this life is becoming challenging. So the last 2 questions, what shall we do? What should I ask? There's so many good questions. So Johnny asked, if you met Kim, what would you say to him? Well, I mean, I have asked the question before and I didn't really have a good answer for that. But I do want to have opportunity to sit down with Kim JongUn. Is that I know, Kim JongUn knows. He went to school in Switzerland, right? He knows what the normal people think. So I'm sure I don't have to remind him what humans deserve and how to treat humans. I think he knows all of that. If I really sit down with him, I want him to know there is a way to move forward. There is move to reconcile. I think especially when you culture with the Marxism and socialism and communism, there's no forgiveness. There's people say like, why do you support capitalism? Asking me, and I say, like in capitalism, socialists and communists can exist, but in socialism and communism, capitalists gonna be executed. That is why I support is very more tolerant. But I think someone like Kim JongUn, who raised in that society where he learned not to tolerate anything, and there's no way of forgiving somebody. Only way to resolve an issue is like execution and punishing them through generation, right? So I think that's why he feels like there's no way out for him, that he needs to maintain this for his own survivor. I don't mind Kim Jong-un to go to Switzerland and the US offers him maybe $100 billion or $1 trillion for him. And then if you let this 25 million be free and go away and have a good life throughout generation of your life, I am all for that. I don't need to see Kim Jong-un get killed. I don't need to see anybody in that regime to get killed. My goal is not revenging the regime, not revenging these people who commit these crimes against humanity, right? My goal is actually seeing some forgiveness and moving forward and seeing freedom. And I think also what is sad in America is this culture not promoting reconciliation and not promoting forgiveness. Instead, keep digging up the history that was hurtful and keep saying why you have done wrong and therefore you are irredeemable. You can never get out of that because your ancestors were slave owners. And therefore you are permanently privileged and guilty about it. And this is just signs of Marxism, and that poisonous ideology is so horrible for human minds. And I think that's what I want really Kim Jong-un to understand, that there is a way out. And people are way more forgiving than the people that he met and grew up with. So I adore you guys too. You guys are the sweetest. I feel so energized and blessed whenever I'm here with you. I know that I'm sure so many things that I say that you disagree with, but the beauty of it is that we should disagree. I don't want to be ever in a room where everybody agrees with me, because then there's no way of elevating my thinking. The ideas should compete with each other, and then the better ideas gonna win eventually, right? That's the beauty of competition, why the Western civilization became dominant thing, because they promoted meritocracy, they promoted the competition, they promoted freedom of speech, and all of these values are now becoming demonized. The fact that you're competent, they say, is a sign of white supremacy. I'm just reading this book about the inconvenient minority. I will intervene on my channel. Just please stay tuned. Asians are very inconvenient for this mainstream narrative to say, if you're a minority, you are so oppressed that the racism is everywhere, you cannot succeed. But then Asians broke all that narrative. They studied hard, they became doctors, they became engineers, and now they view Asians like white people. Japanese people went to internment camps, right? Chinese, there's a discrimination. And that's the thing, this culture now demonizing meritocracy. The fact that you're competent and work hard is a sign of, the patriarchal oppression. We have a lot of work to do in this country right now. So last question, Josh. How do you think Kim Jong-un will meet his end in your opinion? Honestly, nobody knows, right? I hope that his ending, I'm not there are Christians, right, pray for his well-being. I don't. I really think he deserves death. But the thing is, it doesn't really matter what kind of death he's gonna get or ending he's gonna get. For me, is what is in front of us right now. What is in front of us is we talk about how China is responsible. And as a consumers in America, that is up to us to highlight this issue. It is power is within us to talk about this issue. So Biden administration or the next administration gonna talk about North Korean human rights issue. Because if somebody oppressed, that means all of us are not in a good place, right? I always believe that until each one of us become free, we will never be safe from authoritarians. And even then, I'm sure there's gonna be always a threat for us to lose our liberty. So we have to always stay like this, be careful and stay vigilant and never take freedom for granted. And I want you guys to know that I do not take your support for granted. I am eternally grateful. Thank you for helping me to grow this channel and growing my voice. As I told you, I'm going on Joe Rogan in a few weeks. I will keep you posted. And until then, guys, please stay safe and stay blessed. I will see you soon. I love you guys, and thank you for 1,000 people. We reached 1,000 people right now. Love you guys so much, and please let me know what you think about. We talked about a few things today. Was very interesting about what you think about equality. Inequality especially, and what you think about the benefits of capitalism and also the downside of capitalism, and what we should be doing as a free individuals. How should we take it more responsibly and create a better world? So I love you growing with you all and exploring these amazing issues, and I cannot wait to see you. Bye guys. Love you. Bye guys.